first up, Ryan Wood from the Green Bay Press-Gazette. Go ahead, Ryan.
De'Vondre, do you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Just curious, what goes through your mind before that 2-point conversion? Were you at all surprised, or did you expect that to be coming? And what'd you see on the play?
Yeah, I would say I was a little bit surprised that they went for two. I thought they would kick the field goal to try to take it into overtime, but this is a good football team. They fighting, for playoff position just like everybody else. So we knew we were going to get their best shot, and it came down to the wire. Like I said, it's a good football team, well-coached football team. So we knew it was going to be a dogfight. We just had to take care of our responsibilities.
All right, next we're going to go Rob Domofsky from ESPN. Go ahead, Rob.
De'Vondre, what does a division title mean to you?
It just means it's a step in the right direction. We got bigger aspirations than just winning our division, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. We're going to enjoy this moment tonight and get ready because we have a quick turnaround.
All right, next up, let's go Pete Doherty, Green Bay Press-Gazette. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, De'Vondre, how much did you guys miss Kenny Clark today?
Kenny's a huge part of our defense, one of the best players on our defense, but I think the guys that were out there, they did a really good job of stepping in and doing their job. We have the next man up mentality, and we trust everybody on our defense to go out and play at a high level. So I think we did a really good job. And, when we get Kenny back, we definitely going to appreciate it. But like I said, we happy with the players that we have, and just we got to keep getting better.
All right, next we're going to go Wes Hodkiewicz, Packers.com. Go ahead, Wes.
Hey, Dre, on the opening series, what did you see on the sack, and how big was that to be able to prevent them from getting on the board after that 14-play drive?
I think it was a huge play in the game. As you can see, it came down to the wire. I was just kind of, reading the quarterback and pushing through my zone, and I didn't have anybody to cover, so I just kind of went and added on to the blitz. And I actually thought he was going to throw it away, but he didn't. So it was a pretty good play.
All right, next up, Mike Clemens. Go ahead, Mike.
Congrats on the win, De'Vondre. Huntley was their leading rusher today. It seemed like a lot of those yards he got out in the flats to extend drives. What was the trouble to contain him? Did it have to do with how great at targets those tight ends are?
He's a good player. A lot of people don't realize it because he's playing behind Lamar Jackson, but he's a really good football player. He made some plays, and that's what happens in this league. People are going to make plays, and you just got to keep on pushing. And I think we did a good job of not letting it, get to us like, oh, he's extending drives. You just got to keep fighting to the end.
All right, next up, Bill Huber from Maven Media. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, De'Vondre. Obviously, you guys looked like you had their offense solved there in the second and third quarters. What was the overall challenge facing those guys today?
Kind of just implemented on it a little bit. When you're playing a scrambling quarterback, that's like an extra eligible receiver. We had a lot of that stuff covered up. Just he was able to scramble and make plays. But like I said, we just keep fighting and find a way to get it done.
All right, next we go to Rob from the Waukesha Freeman. Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, De'Vondre, can you go back to the 2-point conversion for a second? Did you expect they might move him outside the pocket, and did you guys kind of anticipate the way Andrews had gone all day that he'd probably be primary target number one?
Yeah, we know that's their number one wide receiver coming into the game. He leads their team in targets and basically everything receiving. So we knew he was going to be a big part of the offense, but he made some plays, unfortunately, but we were able to make a play when it mattered the most, and that's what it's all about.
All right, Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press-Gazette. Go ahead.
I know you weren't the primary guy on Andrews, but why do you think you guys as a defense were so much better against him in the second half? What did you guys adjust in the second half against him?
I mean, we just made the typical halftime adjustments. They found ways to kind of get him the ball, but I think we did a really good job of just kind of coming in, making our adjustments, getting everybody on the same page, and trying to limit them as much as you can.
All right, next up, Pete Doherty, Green Bay Press Gazette. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, De'Vondre, Jackson's such a good and dangerous player. Is there any chance that you guys might have taken a little too big a sigh of relief when you found out he wasn't playing?
No, I don't think so. Like I said earlier, we knew number 2 is just as good as Lamar. He just doesn't get the credit because he don't play as much. He can make every throw. He can run. He's a good football player. He's an NFL quarterback. So you have to approach it as such.
All right, Bill Huber, Maven Media. Go ahead.
Hey, De'Vondre, you guys have won a lot of big games in a row, but how important would it be for you guys to get the number 1 seed, and why would that be important to you guys?
I think it's important because home field advantage is everything, and especially playing in Lambeau, the elements are definitely in our advantage in a lot of ways, because the reality of it is nobody wants to play football in the cold. If you have a choice, you want to play in warmer weather. So it's definitely to our advantage. So we just have to keep taking it one day at a time. And, like I said, today was a step in the right direction, but we have bigger aspirations. So we just have to keep on pushing.
All right, and we're going to finish it up with Tom Silverstein of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Go ahead, Tom.
De'Vondre, not every game is a masterpiece. And when you win a game like this, I don't know, is it border on relief? Is it border on this is just part of how the NFL is week to week, that there's some games where you don't play well enough and you just happen to win?
Yeah, I think this is one of those games that later on in the season we'll look back on and be able to say, like, yeah, we fought through a lot of adversity and we found a way to get it done. And we've done that a couple times this season. And I think that's what great teams do. You find a way to get it done, even when things aren't going 100% your way. You just find a way to get it done. So this is definitely a win. We'll look back on and be like, yeah, it shaped us into the team we're trying to become.
I'm sorry, De'Vondre, I got one more for you. Hunter Baumgart from WJJQ. Go ahead, Hunter.
Yeah, De'Vondre, it kind of ties into what you just said, but, the confidence, tell me about the confidence that from that last 2-point conversion stop there, that can give you not only going into the next game, but drawing upon maybe even later this season in the postseason when you have to make a big stop, knowing you did that at the end of this game.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge momentum win, I would say, especially being on a short week. It just feels good to get that win and be able to move on and feel good about ourselves. Like we didn't play our best and we still found a way to get it done. So it just goes to show that we can win in any situation, but we just have to continue to get better and continue to put our best foot forward.